Hello everyone, this is FDV Vladerag, and I'm going to be doing my very first Selfcast. Up in the top right we have Darkvoice, one of the officers of FDV and my closest friend on StarCraft, versus, well, myself as the Blue Protoss. In the bottom left, the map is Neoplanet SLE, and you'll get to see a little bit of the banter between me and Dark. As we talk about what's going on, I am telling him that this is back when I was first experimenting. I'm still experimenting with a new hotkey setup, and I was also experimenting with somewhat of a new build. New strategy, new ideas, and hey, you'll get to see it and tell me how much it sucks. Oh, the idea sounds great on paper. It's so hard to execute. Nevertheless, let's see how this game goes on. I haven't seen it in a bit, so yeah, you know what? I will be able to cast it okay. That's one of the things I have to do, I think, with Selfcast, is give it some time to forget the game. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's going to happen, and that happens. And the reaction, I feel, is sort of necessary. It's almost more like I want to do it from Dark's point of view, because I remember mine. Like, even right here, I'm like, what? Wait, what on earth did I miss? He could be doing a heart because the probe was there. You could be doing a heart because he wants to. I could have just totally missed that he had like proxy hatched my base. You never know with Dark. He's quite interesting like that. He is a very, very good player, a very difficult player to keep up with. If he stuck to practicing some of the same builds, he would easily be platinum. But the thing is that he's always trying new things, and that can make him difficult to play against. Or easy sometimes. It really depends. Anyways, you'll notice I am going for a Forge Fast Expand, sort of my standard thing, versus Zerg. I don't particularly like going any other way. It's just, well, my kind of style. He is going for sort of an early pool, early gas. I think it's a 14-14 or something similar to that. Not something you quite often see, although he does know I'm in the habit of blocking his natural and his third, because he'll often, if he sees his natural block, he'll just send a drone to his third, and so I've started blocking both of them in recent matches, or just basically any match we play. It's basically, he has no idea what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, and I like to keep it that way. Either way, do have my Nexus down, and I go for a Gateway, just because, hey, why not? Now, it's a little greedy to go Gateway, then Cannon, but hey, whatever. I'm a little bit of a greedy player at heart. Dark, on the other hand, getting that metabolic boost out, feel like he might be aggressive. I can't really remember what he does this game. Except that there were Banelings involved, and everyone loves Banelings. A couple of Zerglings just hanging out, having their funds. Going to be sending him out. Dark is very good at scouting, or is becoming very good at scouting. You'll notice him begin to send all his units around the map. Feels like you're dealing with a pro-level player when you see him scout sometimes. Scary. Either way, this build out of him surprising me a lot. Normally you see 15 hatch out of Dark. This is sort of quite late. There's an expand, and is he double expanding? There were two drones. I sort of feel like he might be. Nope, no idea why that other one is stressed out yet, and I reply, should I be? Of course, I am actually stressed out of my mind, but basically what I'm trying to do is pump him for a little bit of information. You never know. A lot of players just want to, you know, say, yes, you should be. And then I get a little worried. Of course, I sort of double mind game, and I like to go, yes, you should be, when I'm totally triple expanding and have absolutely nothing that could possibly hurt them. Either way, my wall-in is a little bit of a special one. It not only walls in this way, but if you do get past the Zealot, you can't just run through here. Basically, it means I might lose some probes, but as long as I have fighting units, they're going to go for those first. Basically meaning it keeps my probes safe and my fighting units just a little safer still. Have the Queen already down there. I do feel like he'll be taking another expansion soon. Yep, there it is. Really could... That must be on the patrol move command. I sort of forgotten about it. Either way, the game will continue. You'll notice I am already starting my upgrades, because this build I'm doing is sort of it's an interesting build. It's or an interesting strategy. One I thought up myself. I don't know if there is a pro player who has anything on this yet, but basically it's a Zealot Sentry expand. Very interesting idea I had. I've since modified it a bit. Like, these warp gates actually start to form in the parts of other wall-ins around the map. It started to become a very standard thing for me. He does have a third base coming down, transferring his workers on over to his natural. Something he likes to do is keep building workers on this, whereas I rally them down. Just sort of a different way of thinking. One of those Zerglings did seem to get through there. Not that it matters all that much. There's the heart. I always worry when I see those things because I'm like, oh god, what is he doing? And a bunch of roaches could easily show up now and ruin my entire day. Either way, that doesn't happen, and I do have more sentries and zealots coming along the way. And the problem I actually have with this strategy is I feel like I get everything just a little too late. And I feel it's more my cowardice and not being able to micro my sentries properly than it is a problem with my actual strategy. I'll have to work on that later on in the future. Am I on busy? I hope I'm on busy. Okay, good. I am on busy. And shout out to Inspiration. Don't know if he even remembers me. I think he just ended up on my friends list or something. I'm like 90% sure he's Diamond or Masters, smurfing in Platinum just to practice something or other. I forget. Whatever. It's not totally important. What is important is now I do have a fair amount of sentries. You notice I am beginning to move out, and achievements have been disabled till further notice. I don't really have the best internet here at the moment. That is fine. I'm going to be sending out my probe to begin to put down my third base. Notice the 9-minute time, actually fairly early in a PvZ. You don't often see movement like this on the map just because it can be dangerous versus lings, but or even roaches, roach, ling, bane, whatever. All those things can be difficult, but with all these sentries, I really am sort of immune to any real attack. I can pretty much put a force field, I can pretty much force field everything at this point. How many do I even have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, more than enough to hold a ramp indefinitely. And of course I do begin to start walling off everywhere. This is actually part of the strategy. Now, like I said before, if these had been part of this wall off, I might have actually been able to expand faster, cheaper, better, basically, and that sort of becomes the issue. I feel like that is something I really need to work on if I plan to really get to use this in the future. Nevertheless, the next part coming down, the robotics and the Templar archives. I am digging this build. I don't know what build you're doing, Dark. Very, very safe opener from him. Getting some Banes and Zerglings out. The Banes, of course, basically this all comes down to how is my micro. Sending out a probe, of course, because I don't like it when Dark says something's going well. I very much prefer to hear him say that he's messed everything up, because you can never be too sure what's going on. I, of course, am much more interested in trying to get all of my buildings down, all of my units out, especially. Really should be getting an Immortal coming out. I do actually mess up my build and strategy that I've been thinking of pretty badly on this one. But hey, I think it's like the third game since I thought of it. I don't know, it's not even that. All of a sudden, though, a lot of Ling Baneling here. It's going to be a battle. I could tell you who will win. I don't think I'm going to. You all just get to watch and have some fun. Of course, with those Archons, it would be sort of unlikely for this to actually hurt me too much, unless, of course, they get into my base. Of course, if I lose too many probes, doesn't matter if my army necessarily survives, especially with him nearly on 4 bases now. Could be an interesting thing, and with the Spire on the way, of course I do have Archons, which do tend to make Mutalisks a little bit obsolete. I say a little bit, because they are, you know, it still can be a problem, and all of a sudden there they go running into the base. There's the force field, keeping them out, going to be engaging a bit there, trying to keep them from dealing too much damage. As they head for that pylon, though, there's another force field, not quite in the perfect position. Second force field does manage to keep them out and keep me alive, as they do manage to kill off I think they kill off a cannon here and a couple of probes. Force field's going to be holding majority of these lings inside, as my Archons, of course, do break them and allow my units free reign. I think I do lose a zealot to all of these guys. Yeah, no I don't. Either way, the battle has happened. Didn't really deal much damage to me, lost a bunch of stuff. That's what I do love about sentries versus, well, actually just about everything. They do so well. On the other hand, he is basically able to transition now into his Mutalisk tech, and I certainly am not really in any position to move out. Still going to be putting everything down. Need to start my +3. I do get that eventually. I don't know if it finishes. I think he actually destroys my forge at some point. Anyway, we'll be seeing what goes on. I really don't have any protection from Mutalisks, except, of course, Archons, which do very well against them. Especially with that +3, it will basically just turn them into Mutalisk killing machines. Although they already 3-hit them. Or 2 hit, yeah, no, 3. 3 hits. Wow, that's getting annoying. I don't care if my connection to Battle.net is lost. I don't even know why I'm connected in the first place, since I almost always watch these replays from my replay folder as from actually opening StarCraft. Because the one thing that works better... Oh yeah, I did actually log in, and that's why I had to set to busy. The one thing that works better than a busy is not even really being there. Either way, it looks like he's taking his third mostly for the gas, and we are seeing a bit of a move out here. A lot of Ling Bane and Muta. Question is whether or not I can hold this off. Of course I can, because I'm me. What is the problem, though, is I don't remember quite how this part goes. I do remember that he doesn't kill me here. Oh, well, anyways, the battle is joined. All of a sudden, I'm trying to get all my forces together. Force fielding to protect my sentries there. Not quite able to do it. There goes my forge, and one of that... Wow, that force field was late. And all of a sudden, Mutalisk running into the main base as Zerglings over here working away at that. Not much I can do about it. Going to lose only a single probe, though, as he does realize that I am coming right for him. Not a whole lot he can actually do. I don't think I lose... Yeah, I barely lose anything in this entire battle, except, of course, that forge, which actually is more important than you'd think. That +3 was actually extremely important to my plans. Although now, when we start talking about it, though, all of a sudden I have a sort of scary army with the Immortal Archons, and I don't think I actually have any High Templar with me, but I do have Storm. You are going to win. I think, as a matter of fact, I do, but don't worry, Dark, I actually missed several steps in my build. Like, right now, I should actually either be having robotics bay, or Stargates coming down, one of those two. I should have had this earlier. I should have had another forge, like 60% through, +2, so that, I didn't say that, you don't, I said this is fudge. It's fudge. This is like fudge. It's delicious and tasty, and yeah. I should have had +2 coming down. When +3 came down, I should have been working on my +1 shield upgrade, because of the importance of Archons to this build. This strategy. Basically what the idea of this is to take a fast third versus Zerg, and then to be able to do a sort of a mid-game push with Zealot Sentry Archon, as I totally miss my force fields and lose a bunch there. Of course, Dark loses a lot as well, and I am able to bring my forces back with the good old-fashioned Warp Prism. Not old-fashioned at all, actually. Anyways, bringing in all sorts of Zealots. I'm going to be pushing forward. Losing my forge, though, definite loss, and definitely really, not even definitely, really hurt. Almost basically cost me the game here, as I do begin to engage, trying to create little bits of areas for my Zealots to engage the Zergling safely, although at this point I'm not sure it matters, as all of a sudden he does start hitting my main base. I don't really have much to defend, so if this is a base race, I feel like you almost should have, you know, gone for that choice. Although base racing versus a Protoss with Immortals, not usually a good idea. All of a sudden, though, this is the force I was sending back to try and make sure that he didn't win with the base race. All of a sudden, taking out all my units. He was supposed to have Ultras. I was supposed to be going for mass air. And this battle isn't actually over yet. All of a sudden, you'll notice I lost a bunch of my anti-air there. I no longer really have enough to stop his Mutalisks. And that is going to be a real, yeah, Voids and Colossus. This is going to be a real issue. But on the other hand, while I don't have enough to stop these Mutalisks, he doesn't have enough Mutalisks to stop me from ravaging his entire main base. So basically, this game is just going to continue onward. As I start to try and figure out I need a 4th base here at some point, basically problems arise because, hey, listen, whoa, my APM was actually hitting 200 there, but I have an average of 50 APM. Some things I just don't remember to do. Anyways, you really should be focusing down the Immortals. As he says, let me think. But the honest truth is he doesn't actually have much more units anymore as I begin to send out more Archons to deal with those Mutalisks. Game is basically set and won. GG, and yeah. There you have it, folks. My very first Selfcast. I'm not really into Selfcast. I don't really like doing this, but you know what? I'm going to be doing a little bit more in the future, seeing how this is. Hold on. I forget what I'm saying. Yep, want to see that replay. Don't listen to that. I'm actually a terrible player. I'm just... Anyways, folks, game pretty much over. Just me and him talking because we both really like to improve, and also because I can't really trust Dark. I remember he has all these Mutalisks, and basically I just want him to die because, yeah, spawning pool right there. That first, yeah, they probably did. They probably did. But that's okay because force fields are OP. Anyways, in the future, I'm going to be trying to refine this build. Probably going to be the very first episode of Theorycraft is going to deal with my Zealot Century Fast 3. He missed the 3-3. Oh god, there's my forges finally doing what they were supposed to do like 10 minutes ago. Not 10 minutes. Probably something like that. Anyway, so that's the game. I sort of didn't realize it had this much chatting at the end. Anyway, game over, and let's just watch some Overlords die. Die, Overlords, die! Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. And that's game over. Anyways, this has been FDV Vladerag for my first self